Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to remove and install a Q brake system, check S-cam movement, and slack adjuster. Before I can do anything, I have to be able to release my emergency brake. Even if I got my lug nuts off, I can't get that drum off there until I release the emergency brake. To release the emergency brake, I can put a Cajun tool in the back of the slack adjuster or the chamber and tighten it down. What you're doing is compressing a big massive spring there. For this demonstration, I'm just going to put air into the system to release my emergency brake. So air to the back of the chamber releases emergency brake. Pulls that in. So slack adjuster in. Now I can make my adjustment. I need to back the adjustment off still so I can fit my drum over my shoes. The drum will wear a little groove right here so you can't pull it off there. Okay, so I need to back the adjustment off. The slack adjuster will tell you which way you're going. If I go that way, it made no noise. If I go that way, that means I'm going against the clutch inside the slack adjuster and I'm backing it off. As I back it off, I want to go as far as I can go. Give me as much clearance between the drum and my brake shoes as I possibly can. Make my life a little bit easier. When I get there, it's made a different noise. Watch when I go a little bit further, this yoke will start moving outboard. Went outboard, I went just a little bit too far, tightened it down. Now this drum ought to slide right off of here. Coming off. Okay, and now we're going to look at the brake shoe. If you look at the top part of this shoe, there is a groove right here. Okay, this is for visual inspection. Down here at the bottom of this groove where it gets tighter, that's a 1/4 inch. That's legal minimum. I can't run a brake shoe legally any lower than that. So if I look in through the back of my inspection plate and I see this big groove, I can still run these shoes. If I see that 1/4 inch groove and that's all I see, it's time to put new shoes on there. Okay? So now I'm going to remove the Q brakes. There's a bunch of different ways to do this. I'm going to show you my easiest way to do it. If you look right here at this spring, where the spring is going into my brake shoe, there is a little groove. Get you a flat screwdriver, something that's got a point on it. Get behind the groove or the little slot in the brake shoe and just pop it. Okay? There's one on the other side. I'm going to do the same thing too. Pop it loose. And then I'm just going to grab the back of these shoes and open it up like a clam. So I pull up, kind of twist, let it all fall off there together. My shoes are off, okay? This little pin right here that's in there, when you get a new set of shoes, this pin isn't in there, but it'll be in your kit. You have to take and put it through this hole with a hammer. Drive it through there, you don't have to take very much, and it just pops in there and locks in place and it ought to float like that, okay? All right, S-cam movement, no more than 25 thousandths. If you look at the thickness of that feeler gauge, that's how much play is. I can't use it anymore. I got to repair it after it gets that much play in it. It's not very much. So to measure that, you're going to get you a dial indicator. Set it up on my S-cam, and I can zero my dial indicator it gets kind of tedious because whenever I touch that, it changes what it was. All I really do is take the reading where it's at now, which is at 35 thousandths. And I'm going to try to move this thing up and down, okay? And right there I have 35 to 45, about 10 thousandths of play. I'm still good there, okay? This is a measurable amount. If you feel it, it's probably bad, okay? And then I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to move my dial indicator out here to the end of this. And I get 25 thousandths of in and out play, okay? At anything more than 25 thousandths, I'm supposed to replace the bushings. So all I do is move my dial indicator, get it to stick. Make sure my base is tight. And I'm going to measure in and out play. To be 100% honest with you, in the field you'll probably never do this, but in this class I want you to do it so you feel how much there. Right now, I'm getting somewhere around 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 thousandths. I don't know if you can see that movement in that on the camera, but I'm hearing play. That's too much. That play is controlled by my shim pack. Shim here, shim on the inside between that slack adjuster and the S-cam tube, and on the outside of the slack adjuster itself, okay? That's control that movement. Right now, if I felt this on the truck, I'm gonna put new bushings in there because the in and out was almost 20 thousandths, or the up and down was almost 20 thousandths, and my in and out is way more than it needs to be. The reason I care about that movement is if I have a slack or the S-cam going through there and it is just supposed to spin like this and I have movement in there, instead of just spinning, it's wanting to kink it. Once it kinks it like that, I lose force to my brake shoes. I lose braking force, okay? So now we're just gonna go back together here real quick. Okay? This is another one of them steps. There's 100 different ways to do it. I'm going to show you my easiest way. Not necessarily the right way for everybody, but this is the easiest way I can do it. First of all, I'm going to take my top brake shoe. I'm going to hook my big long spring to it, let it dangle. Set it on there, make sure the spring goes behind the S-cam, just let it set there. Then I'm going to take my bottom shoe, hook the two small springs into the top shoe, let them dangle. Take the bottom shoe, pull it back like you did when you took it off a clamshell. Let it kind of dangle, keep some tension on those springs. Once it's set like that, come back over to my large spring on this side. I'm going to take my tool, put it around the top of the spring and underneath my slack adjuster. This is going to be my lever. The thing I want to do is when I do that, I want the hook to be pointed toward me. Grab the bottom shoe, hold the bottom shoe with your leg. I didn't have to pull that spring very far to get that thing to latch, okay? You notice there's no rollers in here yet. Okay, no rollers in there. Leave them out, that way I don't have to pull that spring as far, make it as easy as you can on yourself. All the rollers are supposed to have keepers on this, okay? So you're gonna grab that roller just like that. That was where your thumb goes. Take your pry bar, pull it up, set it down in the groove, hold just a little bit of pressure there, squeeze the locking tab together and you'll see it fall into this lock right here. Pushed it back, it fell into the lock, we're ready to go. Both of my rollers have to have a locking tab on it. On this trainer we've lost one, but I'm going to go ahead and put it together to show you what's going on here. So on the bottom I just pull straight down, set it in there, we're ready to go. See, my rollers are in the bottom of their groove. If they're out here on further on this, it means I got to stretch the spring further to get those to set in there. So if I can get my initial adjustment to be right there in them grooves, life was easy for me. Okay? Now I'm going to put the drum back on and make a brake adjustment. I just let it set there like that on first, and then I'm going to bear hug this thing, pick it up, and I'm going to pick and twist at the same time. It'll line itself up and go on there, okay? And then this is Joe Valor's way, okay? I'm going to put 2 lug nuts on there. I'm not going to put the tire on before I do anything else. I'm just going to put 2 lug nuts on there, 180 degrees across from each other. I'm not going to get the impact, I'm not going to get anything else. I'm